Hey YouTube, it's a Black Beauty. I decided to just do a quick video because I just wanted to talk to you guys and just let you know. And yeah, this is my t-shirt. It says, "Now my bitch a Barbie, whoa." Um, Hercules. So basically, I just wanted to talk to y'all and just let y'all know, like, this racism shit is so sad. It is so corny. It is so shitty. It is so, like, beneath us. It is so 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, 1500s, 1400s. You feel me? Like, racism, yes, I know it's here to stay, but can we make it fucking go? I mean, like, and I'm gonna stop moving this. I'm just gonna rest it down right here and just talk to y'all. This racism shit is set up in a way that nobody wins. I mean, black people don't win, white people don't win, mixed kids don't win. Well, that's not true. Black people do win. Ultimately, black people will win. Ultimately, this is set up for black people to win. But before we win, we're going to have to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be as easy as 2 weeks of outside protesting. I mean, protests rolled through my block. I didn't feel like I had to go to another protest after being outside for 4 or 5 hours that first Friday. So, what I'm doing is continuing to push my art and working on my album, but I'm also trying to help people in my community either sell their home or get tenants or do whatever will help them become financially free in this country that doesn't give a fuck about them. So I thought it was important for me to just come on to this channel, and this is not a live video, it's recorded because I'm doing it on my phone. And I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not like, the way I feel about this whole thing is, unless black people, unless we get reparations, all of this was for naught. I mean, I don't want to hear another fucking thing about George Floyd. I understand that he is the symbol of a movement, but you know who else was a symbol of a movement? Trayvon Martin was a symbol of a movement. Amadou Diallo was a symbol of a movement. Rodney King was a symbol of a movement. And what I'm trying to say is that we've had a lot of movements and yet no movement on reparations. So I don't give a fuck, honestly. And I know that sounds really cruel. I care on an ordinary person-to-person basis what I can do to help the next man next to me or the woman next to me. But as far as everyone, there's nothing that we can do that includes everyone except these reparations. Because every black person doesn't want to be next to the next one. Every black person doesn't have the same aspirations. Even all black people aren't from America. I mean, there are so many people who won't even get reparations, but that's their problem. Because in my mind, if you're a black person who comes from a country that your family is successful in that country, even if it's not America, knowing America's treacherous and racist history, why would you leave your wonderful country to be a part of this? So you don't deserve reparations. But as far as I'm concerned, people like my family and other people's families who have been here for, 500 years. I'm going to say 500 years because I have Native American in me. My great-grandfather is Native American. Like, I'm going to say that shit for real because that is a real fact. And, no. America was built on our backs, and so this racism shit has got to stop. And if it's not going to stop, then pay us our money so we could fucking deal with you. Otherwise, let's take our shit and go back to Africa. That's the real question that I have for most people. Are you prepared to leave all of the luxuries of America? Oh, shit. Didn't even know that was up there. Are you prepared to leave all of the luxuries of America to start over somewhere else, rebuilding in the name of blackness? Because I'm cool with it. I honestly, how I feel is I want a mixed child, yes, but as long as my man is cool with living in other places, I don't care. Like, as long as he is willing to come and live in Africa for a while, or we could live in the Middle East, or we could live, in Europe or whatever, I don't care. As long as he's willing to do things that make our life make sense, knowing that he has black children, it doesn't matter to me where we're at. But I would love to reinvigorate Africa. I'd love to work on energy deals. I'd love to work on things that bring the infrastructure to Africa that should have been there. I mean, all of this black money and black wealth that we're building up just to pay these white institutions. Like, we are fighting so hard to be a part of this shit that was never made for us. I say once we get our reparations that we don't invest on any of that money here on this. Why? Why would I take the money that you motherfuckers owed us for hundreds of years? I mean, think about all the slaves that haven't gotten paid. Forget the descendants of the slaves. You got off. Because there are people that will never see their money. And you guys are counting on that last generation of strong black people. I mean, the people like Mr. Bobby Seale, who's now 87 years old. And people like my grandmother, who is now, how old is she? No, my grandmother's the 87-year-old one. The fuck? My grandmother is the one who's 87. Bobby Seale's 83. You're counting on these people to die so you don't have to pay them reparations. I don't give a fuck. I want to see these reparations. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't care about these protests. These protests are... You know what? That's not true. I care about these protests enough to support my friends who are protesting, enough that if it happens on my block, I go outside for the whole protest. I really do, because I've protested a lot. You have to understand, I'm 33 years old. I protested a lot in high school, man. When Al Gore lost that election, that was my first, like, I protested. That is a young man's sport, a young woman's sport. And yes, I'm youthful and beautiful, but I am a grown woman, not a young woman. So I think as a grown woman, the best thing I could do is continue to push my brand and be black and excellent. So I have to stay in the studio. I have to continue to work. I have to continue to do things that make sense. Otherwise, you won't get the best version of me, and I can't move anything forward, including my community. So that's how I feel about what's been going on. I support black business all the time. I mean, I literally, everything I bought was from a black business these last couple weeks. But it's been like that for maybe the last 2 years, that I seek out black businesses to buy things from. Now, of course, I wear a lot of clothes that I've had for years. I have plenty of workout clothes that are from Victoria's Secret, that are from Nike. But everything I buy going forward is black stuff. And then, I support the little brands as well. I also support big brands. I do what I want to do with my money. That's what capitalism is about, being able to do what the fuck you want to do. The way they're setting it up, they don't want you to have that capitalism in your back pocket. They want to take away, and when I say they, I'm talking about Democrats. They want to take it away. They want to take away democracy and give you some diluted form of socialism right when everyone's about to get rich. I don't think so. I mean, I'm not a Trump supporter, but there's so much upside in that stock market, and I'm in that bitch. I don't give a fuck what you guys say. Like, it is time that we start learning how to invest, learning how to do things that move us forward, instead of looking for the government to give us more. I mean, don't you understand there's no such thing as a free lunch? The more they give, the more they take. I take this unemployment. Do you know why I take this unemployment? Because I worked my ass off for it. But as far as welfare and all that other shit that people take, I think that stuff is best for... You know what I think about welfare and what I think about food stamps and shit? It's best for very, very young people who had rough lives, who they might get pregnant, or they got someone pregnant, or, life was rough. They came out of foster care and they need support. Those people should be on welfare. I also think older people who have... their skill set is like null and void, and like it's obsolete, and they don't really have any real skills, and they can't really get a job, so there's really not much of a pension or anything, or Social Security even, or they're not even old enough, or those people should be receiving benefits. They worked at some point, but now it's time. They don't really have what it takes to survive in a society, so give them the benefits. I also think that welfare is one of those things where it's like, it's a case-by-case thing and circumstantial, but overall, if you have circumstances that make it difficult for you to enter the workplace, then yeah. But as far as, like, people that just sit on their ass and expect the government to do every fucking thing for them, that is exactly the reason why we can't have this black state. Because you motherfuckers is going to come to the black state and think that you're going to get treated the same way you get treated in the white state. but yet we don't have the infrastructure to give you your benefits every week. We just don't. Sometimes when shit goes wrong in your bathroom, you might have to fix that shit by yourself until you could afford to pay the plumber for his services because he's not free. Do you understand what I'm saying? In a functional society, everyone is compensated for their work. So people that are not used to being compensated for work don't understand the value of compensating others for work. Thus, the society will fail because everyone is debating, why do I have to pay for this? Why should I pay? Water is free. No, it's not. It's in your taxes, motherfucker. But because you don't pay them, you don't understand what shit is. You got to pay a fucking water bill in this section of the country that they designated a black whatever, if they're going to call it a reservation or they're going to call it black territory when they give us these reparations, whatever states they annex and give to us, people are going to have to work, and they don't understand that shit. So there's a lot that is being put on us, and it's not as easy as protesting for George Floyd. Yes, do that too. Protest Breonna Taylor, protest for Breonna Taylor, protests for everybody. I mean, some of you guys miss certain, like, you guys don't even talk about Sean Bell anymore. I mean, I guess I'm in New York, so certain people, I don't hear Amadou Diallo, Alma Louima, Sean Bell, I mean, Eric Garner. You guys have to keep remembering these names. It's like a hot button with you guys. It's like something to do because everyone's been inside. That shit is corny, if you ask me. It is not something to do just because you've been locked up in your apartment. Like, what the fuck are you on? So I feel like there's a lot of shit going on in this world right now, and all I want to do is do the positive thing, the right thing. And I think staying out of the way of protesters and agent provocateurs and people who don't think right is the best thing for me as a grown woman, because I'm not 22 years old. I am 32 years old. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not really my place to be out there. I mean, like, literally, I was attacked a couple years ago and my toe broke and it never even healed the same. Like, when I say, damn, you can't even see. But when I say crooked, like, my toe healed crooked, and then that was one of the first signs that I realized, like, yo, I'm getting older. Shit, you just have to know your limits. Okay? I'm reserving my last bit of energy from my womb. I want to have children. I want to have a lot of them. Okay, something that corporate America almost tried to rob me of, and then when I finally found someone, God decided that he had a better place in heaven than here on earth. So at the end of the day, I'm behind, and I know this. So why would I waste my energy protesting? I need to save my energy and my body fat for the babies I'm going to have. I need to reserve my energy and my good skin and my good energy for Monday when I get back to the office, because there's a lot of work to be done, and there's a wonderful man there that deserves the best version of me. Like, he needs to see me glistening and glowing every day, smelling good every day, feeling sexy every day. He does not need to see me stressing out over Black Lives Matter or over, it's just not worth it. Because I know Black Lives Matter. I know it so much that I'm willing and prepared to bring a black life into this world. And I didn't always feel that way. I didn't always feel like I wanted to have a baby. Not because the baby would be black, but because I didn't have any resources. And knowing that a lot of these black men don't have any resources too, we're going to fail. So literally, I'm ready to bring a black life into this world. That is more important than standing on 14th Street. They call it a race for a reason. My skin color and heritage says that we outproduce y'all 10-1. They say the population in, is it Rwanda? They say it's one of the best places in Zimbabwe as well, because the population is like 70-something% under 30. Which means that we as some fucking people, and we as some producing people and reproducing people. So my lineage, my history says my mother was number 9 of 9. My grandmother was number 11 of 11, and I have not had one child yet. So as far as I'm concerned, I am failing. My mother had one kid. I was her only kid. She failed. Be fruitful and multiply doesn't mean one child. Be fruitful and multiply means as many children until that fucking hip bone cracks. Like, literally. It means I'm pregnant. It means I'm pregnant. It means I'm pregnant. It means I'm pregnant. Because this world has us thinking something completely different from what it is. I mean, it will have you working like you are a fucking mule and a slave. I've been there. Now I work on shit that puts money right in my pocket directly. I don't work on shit that puts money into Brad's pocket so he can piecemeal me. No, I don't do that. It's called being a boss, and sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes being a boss is a lot of work. It's always a lot of work. But the only way to be a boss and to find a man who will value you as a woman and to maintain your femininity is by allowing that man to see you in your feminine state. You can't be in your feminine state jumping around on 14th Street screaming out for George Floyd. And I mean his motherfucking family and them. I mean, he has to have a friend out here advocating for him because his own baby's mother doesn't give a fuck. This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Care from the comfort of your home. And when I say to you guys, I mean to you ladies. To you men, you better go out there and fight for us. That's your job. And that's my point. Go out there and fight for us because that's your fucking job. But as far as I'm concerned, I want to stay home, and no, I don't have children yet. So I understand people will say, you don't have kids yet, so what's the excuse? No, the excuse is do you know it is June 6th, and the last time I had sex was December 31st, 2019? Do you know I have been steaming my vagina and cleaning my baby, getting her ready, getting her prepared for the most important duty, the most important thing I've ever done in my life. I'm going to have kids. I will not be stopped by America. I mean that shit. So no, I don't have time to protest, okay? I want to be sexy on Monday so that this beautiful young man can give me all his seed so I could have his children. That is a 100% fact. I don't need him to see me tired and washed up from protesting. I don't need him to be looking at me thinking, yeah, she looked great last week. What happened? She must have been out all week. She must have been drinking all week or jumping around all weekend. And no, I want him to be like, wow, she's well rested. Look how beautiful she looks on this beautiful 80-degree day in that gorgeous dress. I'm going to give her every last nut and she's going to have my children. That's literally what I want. That's what I want. That's the effect I want. I don't want to be your work buddy. I'm not trying to, and what I've realized is that he's not trying to make me his work buddy. He doesn't drag me on any of his appointments. He doesn't do any of that. All he does is bring clients to me, bring money to me, just bring it to me like I'm a fucking princess. And that's what I want. I don't want to be out there fighting a cause that, ultimately will benefit another woman, because once black men get their reparations and they think they're living above, the law with $350,000, which is barely anything, when they think they're fucking doing better than everybody else with their little bit of reparations, how are they going to act? They're going to run straight to Becky. Some of them already have money, and so they're just going to continue to build upon what they already have. Those guys are different. Okay, but the ones that are doing bad are going to continue to do bad. The ones that are doing good are going to continue to flourish. That's just life. It really has nothing to do with a black man. It really is just a man and a woman. Women, too. I mean, the same bitches who is out here thotting and bopping are going to be thotting and bopping even harder. They're going to be paying for their own flights and trying to find niggas in other countries. They're not even going to need a nigga to fly them out. They're just going to go fly themselves somewhere and sit in Europe for a month talking about living my best life. No, you bitches are fucking corny. I'm done with this shit. I'm done with bitches pretending that they're living their best life. You're not living anybody's best life. You're living your best Instagram lie. You know what the best life is? The best life is when you go home and you pick those children up in your arms. The best life is when your man comes home from a long day from work and you are in that lingerie and he just bends you over the fucking kitchen table. That's the best life. To me, I mean, maybe he comes over and you're not even in any lingerie. Maybe you're just in some glittery lotion and an ankle bracelet. You get bent over the couch. You feel me? So, I'm not... See, that... Maybe that's my vice, right? Like, everyone has their vice. Maybe that's my vice. Maybe I just like to get fucked. Like, I like good sex. Like, I can put everything aside for a good plate of food and good sex. Like, I don't need liquor. I don't need, like... Honestly, I think about all the vices that I have, and I think about which one did I start first. And I had sex when I was 14. I love that shit. I love it. It's so good. So that's why I don't have it a lot right now, because when I start having it, I get carried away, and I feel like it's a lot, and then it's like, sometimes I'm having sex with a guy and he's just not ready, or sometimes I have sex with a guy and it's like I need him for the whole day and he's just not understanding. So it's like, unless he's my man, I don't want to have to explain, like, yo, when I'm cracking my nut, like, that is all day. Like, I'm gonna need you to hit it all day. I don't want to have to explain that to him. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, better to be married, right? Like, I don't want to have to explain that to him. Like, when I was with my guy, like, he understood that. Like, he understood that I had, like, days. Like, he said, I could see it in your eyes. Like, you have, like, a day where, like, a couple days where it's, like, we don't go anywhere. We're just in here, and I'm just gonna all day. And I'm just like, yeah, exactly. I'm glad you know that. He's like, yeah, I know. It's like, I know it. He's like, you're like a cat. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. It's a fact. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I just want to be, like, I'm a woman. I mean, I have my treacherous moments, and I have my moments where I'm on my G shit, you know, when I'm getting this bag, when I'm counting my bands, you feel me? But, I really, truly, honestly just love to lay back and have my needs met and just, like, then get to work and get my own bag, and, like, you get your own bag, and we can do our own thing, and, like, let's have these children together. And being married means, like, I will fuck the shit out of you every day, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to control you. Like, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you have needs and I will meet them, and I have needs and you will meet them, and we will grow together. That's all marriage means to me. It's not like some ball and chain the way they make it sound. Like, go live your life. Just know that when it's time, like, when I'm having one of those days, you better fucking show up. Like, I'm not expecting you to be next to me every day, but when I'm having that day, because that happens maybe 3 or 4 times a month. When I'm having that day, I'm expecting you to be there. So that's how I see marriage. I don't see it like some ball and chain where he's just going to be, like, it's not like that. So anyway, guys, I'm getting ready to go. I want to watch tonight. They're going to be showing, what is it called again? Called? It's the Harlem Theater is going to be debuting this thing, and it's called something Giselle's. Guys, I can't remember the first thing it's called. It's called Creole Giselle. Creole Giselle is a Haitian ballet, guys. Sac passe. Yeah, it's a Haitian ballet, and it's phenomenal, and it's gonna have music, and it, you know, I be on my music and culture shit. Like, I want a man who's on his music and culture shit, his travel shit, his art shit, and, like, fuck me in every corner of the globe. Like, that's just my type of thing. I've started to learn. I really deeply know who I am today. Like, I really know exactly what it is that I want. So, you know, what I don't want is to involve myself too heavily in a movement that is supposed to benefit me. I am going to dismantle white supremacy in a lot of different ways, but I'm not going to jump in the front lines to do it. I'm going to do it through education. You know, I've got my master's in African Studies. A girlfriend of mine, she has a school open. I plan on developing a curriculum and working there. And I want to do a Saturday school program, similar to what the Asians do in their community. I want to do a Saturday school program that could benefit our community. And another thing is like I want to also be able to just continue to boost this studio because I want people to have an outlet. I want people to have a opportunity to be creative again. I don't want people to feel like it's all like a police state and work, work, work. I want people to feel like, yo, the studio's there. I can still be creative in my neighborhood, even though we're not really traveling out the neighborhood much. Like, yo, there goes the studio. Let me take advantage of that. Let me pay Jack for her rate. Come work with Jack. Like, I want it to be a professional setting. I want people to be happy. And I want to continue to grow. So I feel like this is such a draining of energy and a distraction. So what I'm doing is trying my best not to focus on it. I am watching a little bit of it every day. But as far as watching it all day and trying to get in crisis mode, I was in crisis mode when COVID hit. I had to go down to Coney Island for like a week on like the craziest week when it was that. Remember that Monday where it was mad rain in Brooklyn? And it was just raining. I was on the bus that Monday. That was the day where they were like, people shouldn't even be traveling. Yo, I had to get money. I had 1 week assignment for a business development assignment, 1 week for a lady who's scaling her business. I had things to do. I had money to make. So I went. No car on the 44 to the, what? I get my bag. Nobody will stop me. So if you're the type of woman who wants to get your bag, this is a perfect time to get your bag. I mean, in the fields that I work, this is an opportunity time. This is a time to buy stocks. This is a time to sell your house. This is a time to buy a new house and go into contract. This is a time to come and record your music at a discount. There is a lot of things that could happen for an individual who's looking to be successful in a time like this. So Trump just gave y'all niggas the alley-oop. Go buy some of them good stocks. You know which ones I'm talking about. I can't even make a recommendation because this is YouTube and there's something called, fiduciary and legal qualifications. I'm not legally qualified to really tell you. I'm not a fiduciary. I can't really sit here and advise you as to what to buy, but please pay attention. Go back a month and just go see all the stocks that drop. Buy some of them. Because shit is in a paralyzed state. But think about it like this. America is a person who has been in a car accident. America is a person who is in a coma. And this shit will pass. And this person about to be running in a fucking Olympics. You don't want to be the person who gave up on their mom in the coma, and then she wakes up and she's like, oh, I heard you left me to die. You don't want to be that. You want to be the person who gets that money. You want to be the person to be like, yo, that stock fell to $3. The stock fell for $3. The stock fell at $3. Me have to go buy it. Copy it. You understand? Go buy that fucking stock is what I'm saying. Go buy them shits. You know why? Even if you only get a couple, like, yo, don't think I'm buying a lot. I bought 20 shares or something last night. That's how I do things. 20, 50, 10. I don't do things like 100 shares because I just don't have that kind of money. And shit don't be that cheap. I mean, I have 100 shares of something that has not released yet. But that's because shit is cheap. It's the IPO. But yo, if you don't see this as an opportunity to become a rich black person in this country, I mean, sit your ass at the computer screen and go to Yahoo Finance and pay attention. Go cop. Even if you're not in America in 5 years, when these stocks go up, you legally own that money. You will cash that money out into your own currency. All right, so take advantage of a down market is what I'm trying to say. Stop worrying about the niggas. The niggas will come. You make so much money. Listen, how much money I'm trying to make? I want to have the skin doctor come to my house. Is how much money I'm trying to make. I'm trying to have the doula and the birthing pool in my backyard underneath the sunlight. I'm trying to birth my baby with nobody looking at me. Nobody surrounding me. Like, how can these things be accomplished if we don't aspire for more, and if we don't work, and if we don't make the right choices as to what to do with our energy? If we go out there and give our energy to every little thing, including these protests, you will never be a mogul. You will never be on certain levels. I'm going to protest, but remember this, I've already protested. I've protested many a time. I protest when I walk the fuck out of JP Morgan. I protest every time I quit some or disrespect some fucking corporate job. Because what I'm protesting is my ability to think freely and be a free thinking person who can still contribute highly to your fucking company without being corralled under your fucking culture. What culture? These marble tables and these buildings are culture to you? I would like to take you to Africa and show you real buildings and real marble. I don't care. I have a marble table in my house that looks just like the floor I walk on every day. This shit is a gorgeous Italian marble fucking table. And, you know how I got that? Not because I worked so hard for it. I literally was in the right place at the right time, and I made a relationship with someone of color who bypassed the auction to make sure I had it. And not even just a person of color. It was literally a Mexican man named Mario and another Irish lady. I forget her name, and God forbid, like, if you ever see this video, just tag yourself. But you were mad cool. Like, you literally bypassed that fucking auction. Like, she was like an upstate kind of cool white lady. And then Mario, a Mexican facilities manager, they bypassed that auction so I could have the best piece in the auction. So many people were mad. I only paid $300 for that marble table. Do you understand me? How so many people were mad? Oh, well. It's called being beautiful. It's called being respectful to people. It's called developing relationships. It's called not being such a fucking stuck-up workaholic. How do you think I developed these relationships? By walking around the building and talking to people. Like, were it up to my boss, I would have never had some of these relationships. They hate that. They always sell that you could develop relationships in corporate, but when you actually do it, they don't like it. When you actually tell your boss, like, hey, I really love working for you, but I have a great opportunity in another department, they really hate that shit. You can't move as freely as you think. So what I'm saying is, be a free-thinking individual. Do as you please. Wear what you want, feel how you want, behave how you want, and build the life you want. Don't let anybody sucker you into doing something that is not of your character. If you are a person who is about that life, that protest life, then you go protest. If you are a woman who is trying to reserve your energy and live a clean and healthy life with a balance of energy, you stay your ass home and you watch your YouTube videos, you support, like I support. I give money to black media. You know, I support Vicky Dillard, I support Dr. Boyce Watkins, I support a lot of black voices on YouTube with my dollar, with my time, with my click. I go and walk all over Bed-Stuy and I patronize almost every black business if I can, if it makes sense. I've been in about 70% of them. So I literally don't think that the protests does more than patronizing the business. As a matter of fact, some of you people are fucking up people's businesses. Make sure you don't fuck up no black businesses because we might have to come for you. That's when you start to see a person like me get savage. When I see that the community is taking advantage of other people in the community, that's when I come out ready to bust some ass. Until then, no. I mean, there was a girl that came to the brokerage and she wanted to know how the white people were dismantling white supremacy. You know, honey, white people don't dismantle systems that benefit them. So the premise of your whole argument is wrong from the get. And then when the black girl comes out to talk to you, you just want to sideline me and talk to the sexy white boy anyway. So just talk to him. You thirsty bitch. Thirsty for attention. Looking raggedy. Flip-flops. Hair all short. Like someone gave you a haircut in your house. Eyes concave. Like you never seen concealer in your fucking life. Face just... What? I don't give a fuck. Yeah, you had a high ass, but it barely had any meat on it. You had a high ass. You have a tight body like a little girl. You don't have a woman's body. You don't have juicy titties. You don't have a juicy ass or nothing. No wonder. You don't have no nigga to care about you. So you out here putting up flyers talking about how have people dismantled white supremacy. Bitch, you know what? Get the fuck out of here, because you see this place right here these white people opened up? There's like 10 black people in here getting hella bread. We're independent contractors. Like, learn who to be angry at. You know, you should be angry at your mother because she never taught you how to be a woman. Anyway, that's where I end everything. Bye. A Black Beauty is out. I love you guys.